My name is Darby Havens, and my partner Lauren Akers and I will be sharing with you the background of Cipe Pineles to help us better understand her work and inspiration for her graphic arts. Then we will proceed to show an example of some of Pineles' work. Finally, one piece will be selected for riffing and dissection as we examine both pieces side by side.
Cipe Pineles was born in 1908 in Vienna, Austria, and immigrated to New York with her mother at the age of 13, where she attended Bay Ridge High School in Brooklyn. She then continued her education at the Pratt Institute on a Louis Comfort Tiffany Foundation scholarship. After concluding her time at Pratt Institute, she became an assistant to Condé Nast in the office of M.F. Agha.
Agha was the most fabulous boss to work for, Pineles said. Nothing you did satisfied him. He was always sending you back to outdo yourself, to go deeper into the subject. He told his staff to visit galleries and museums and bring back new ideas, said Pineles. And then she quickly found her role as the art director for Condé Nast publication, which published magazines such as Vogue, Vanity Fair, and House and Garden.
She had many accomplishments, including becoming the first independent woman art director for a mass-market publication in America, being earliest art director to hire fine artists to illustrate for mass publications, and the first woman to be asked to join the all-male New York Art Directors Club, and was later inducted to their Hall of Fame.
An art director for some of the top fashion magazines between 1930 and 1960, Cipe Pineles made her way to the top rapidly and went on to become an art director for Glamour, 17, Charm, and Mademoiselle magazines. Cipe Pineles continued her design career for almost 60 years.
Pineles was inspired by things that the average eye did not consider pretty. She pursued to use these things as props and turn into a story and image that could be viewed in a beautiful way if using a different perspective. As you can see here, in the original, the art director had picked out all of the potatoes that were deemed pretty, while Pineles kept the ugly potatoes and turned them into what she used, and they ended up using her work with the ugly potatoes versus the work of the other art director who only used the pretty potatoes.
Pineles was also involved in other graphics such as you see here. She did a lot of work with cookbooks, just like the previous photo with potatoes, and then she also did graphic work with words such as in the photo to the left.
Pineles' mom was a powerful monarch and took on the responsibilities of leading the family due to her father's illness. This can be a direct tie to why Pineles views women as powerful. Pineles' older brother also had great influence on her, choosing to pursue her dream career, although it was demanding, telling her that a woman's career does not pause in order to become a wife. Additionally, Pineles worked for a magazine for servicewomen in Paris during World War II, where her work showcased strong, independent, successful women, much like herself.
In the photos you see here, Pineles made her center focus strong and powerful women who worked in the professional world. All of their clothing is beautiful and elegant, very classy image. All of the charm works used red and black to incorporate with a neutral background so that the image focuses on the woman. There was also use of pop of color, such as in the image at the left that uses a white hat, and then in the image in the middle with a red, and once again in the image with a white cap and white gloves as well. These images were beautiful and elegant and empowered women.
Pineles said that Charm was the first feminist magazine.
Also, all of the writing on the magazine talked about women in business and in the workforce to inspire them and inspire this fashion style. She really had a passion for women's fashion and sharing with them what it looks like to be a professional lady.
The picture that we have chosen to riff is this one here you see that is the cover of Charm magazine. We're also going to dissect and critique this piece and then hopefully correct what we choose in this piece in our next when we show you our riff side by side. So here you see in Charm two women. In the back you have one in slacks and dress shoes in black, and then in the front you have a girl in pink heels with her foot up in a poofy pink dress with the words "For women who work" and "A different woman after 5." This is truly a statement piece we felt as a milestone for women in the work world and industry, because most people see working women as unmarriable and not highly favorable among men because they are manly or not just perceived as feminine. Well, here it shows you that you can be hardcore working woman as well as a fun-loving, pretty in pink woman after 5 o'clock once you're done just killing it in the workforce. However, in this piece, for our riff, most of this issue is really just strictly based on the camera not being high quality. There are scratches on the lenses. The blurred background, you can see people's feet, and you can't really tell that that's a woman on the other side of the picture. Whenever we first saw this, we were thinking it was a man, and this was just a woman standing next to him. But then after careful looking and consideration, we figured out that that was probably what they were trying to portray here. So as you can see in our next photo where we chose to riff,
we made it very evident that the back foot that has on the black shoe and the black slack was clearly a woman's foot, indicating, like the words say, a different woman after 5. However, we felt that the pink was still very elegant and empowering of women. We also chose to keep the same idea and tone here, just like the image projects, but we also wanted to modernize it and make it our own. Therefore, we did not choose a dress. We actually chose a jumpsuit instead of a dress to show the difference in the time versus back in the 1900s to today's, and how even that elegant woman after 5 o'clock when work is done can still wear pants.
we also really loved the pink and the black contrast, so we wanted to make sure that we really kept that. However, we loved in the first picture, or in the first cover, how the pink dress was poofy and covered the entire top of the screen. So that's why we had to move our picture, or our title, to the bottom of the picture, because the contrast on the actual page itself, you wouldn't be able to read the actual lettering.
It was also very inspiring to see the difference in fashion, and yet also the consistency in fashion from 1930, 40 area to the 2018, 19, and just how, the heels were still very strappy, and also the business shoes still had that point to it as well. Here is our image, both side by side. You can see the differences and yet also the similarities. I feel like when you look at it side by side, it's a lot easier to identify that the back foot in the new photo is a woman versus the original photo.
Cipe Pineles was an extraordinary graphic designer of her time and accomplished many firsts. She was also creative with graphics and used a lot of her graphics for cooking articles and books. Her designs focused on empowering young women and women in the workforce, as well as her work was classy and elegant.